Okay, so we will be discussing the basics of safety, biosafety, and applications of biosafety. So let's see how far we can do it in the 30 minutes to go from now. Uh, I'll start with one particular uh, signboard. આવું બધાએ જોયું હશે. Okay, so now you tell me what does this indicate? આને જોઈને તમને શું સમજ પડે? What it is about? A very simple signboard. થોડુંક આમાં લખ્યું પણ છે. So I want a quick answer. What does this indicate? Something is going on, something, okay, something is going on, okay, maybe કંઈક repair work or some construction is going on over there. પછી બીજું કંઈક, road is dangerous, yes, very good. So it's like yes, maybe some road is getting repaired and you have a signboard kept like this. Any other shares? બસ ખાલી આટલું જ, બીજું કોઈને કંઈ આઈડિયા? Okay, so that's equivalent કે maybe કંઈક road some correct something is there. Accidents are frequently happening on that particular road, so one needs to drive slow, right? So there are chances કારણ કે accident prone area એવું લખ્યું છે. So there are likely chances કે accidents થાય. What else? Okay, so not good, no, not bad to start with. So you know that these signs, even these signs, abhi tame જોઈ હશે, very common signs. Okay, this also are very common. So these are easy to understand. What does this indicate? આ શું indicate કરે? Danger. Okay, something dangerous. Fine. So when we say something is dangerous, what does it mean? Dangerous means what? If something is dangerous, what it leads to? Okay, lethal, fine, that is another word. Yes, a new term, hazardous, life threatening, very good. So something which is dangerous, hazardous, lethal can be life threatening. So your life is put to test, maybe a person can die. Okay, so that's why there is an indication. Okay, અને આ સ્કલ વાળું સાઇન તો બહુ જ પોપ્યુલર સાઇન છે, so very easy to make out, right? So from that, can you explain this four terms? Our terms explain કરી શકો, what does this mean? Danger, hazard, risk, safety. આનું શું meaning થાય? We are very much well versed with this. એક બહુ જ કોમન એક્ઝામ્પલ આપું. તમે એક બસ સ્ટોપ પર ઊભા છો અને તમારા આજુબાજુ 3-4 લોકો એવા આવે છે અને they are doing nothing, but just by their presence and body language you feel unsafe. You feel this is not good, something, there is some problem. Okay, and you are going to move away. Okay, so how do you describe this? Is it risk or is it dangerous? How do you describe this? ને બેસ્ટ એક્શન જે તમે લેશો એ તમે ત્યાંથી જવાનો પ્રયત્ન કરશો. Okay, you don't want to take chance, right? So that is risky, right? So now you tell me the difference. Risk, danger, hazard, safety. Are they same? આ ચારે ચાર સેમ છે કે જુદું છે? Yes, a nice answer. Hazard is something related to chemicals. Yes, they are not same. All the four are different. Okay, they are definitely not same. So let's see one by one what it means. So danger no so meaning thai. Danger no meaning thai. The possibility that something bad will happen. Okay, it is a possibility that yes, definitely something bad can happen if you are not going to do it appropriately. જો તમે પેલી જે પહેલી સાઇન હતી એક્સિડન્ટ પ્રોન રોડ, જો તમે પ્રોપર ડ્રાઇવિંગ નથી કરતા તો તમારે એક્સિડન્ટ થવાનો પૂરેપૂરો ચાન્સ છે. Okay, liability or exposure to harm or injury. So danger is always going to be something which is going to cause you harm in some or the other way. It can be physical, it can be mental, it can be emotional, it can be economical. There can be some harm, some injury to you. Okay, that is what danger means. Danger is going to be the one which is going to cause you some sort of a harm. There is risk also meaning that it is a probability of occurrence of a hazard. Okay, risk is a measure. It's a measurable situation. આપણે કહીએ ને બહુ રિસ્કી છે, ઓછું રિસ્કી છે. ઓકે, આપણે આવું આવું બોલીએ તો આનો શું મિનિંગ થાય? જ્યારે તમે કહો બહુ રિસ્કી છે મીન્સ કે the percentage of getting injury is higher. Whereas when we say that it is less risky or no risky, okay, it's okay to do that activity or that particular thing, means that you are safe. So when you say less risky, means the safety aspect is more. Okay, your percentage of being safer, less injurious is more. જ્યારે જ્યારે તમે વધારે રિસ્કીની વાત કરો તો એ છે, પણ it is a probability factor. ઓકે, એવું બને કે તમે સેફલી નીકળી બી જાઓ, not necessary કે તમને કંઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ થાય. So it is usually risky, is usually an undesirable consequence of an activity in relation to the likelihood of these consequences being realized. Okay, and it's never desirable. If you take the risk and you are really getting injured, you never want to become injurious. So that is what no risk is. It's a function of level of hazard, that what and how it's going to cause you the problem. So risk is a situation involving exposure to the danger. It is a chance or probability that a person will be harmed or experience an adverse health effect if exposed to hazard. But if exposed to, okay, there is a probability here if it is done. It may also apply to situations with property or equipment loss or harmful effect on the environment. So, as I told you, it can be a risk, no, leading to anything. It can be with your health, it can be with your monetary aspect, it can be with respect to your environment, right? So, if risk was that, then what is hazard? So hazard is an imaginable adverse effect. Okay, so hazard is never going to be good. It's always going to be bad. Definitely bad. Something which is not wanted is going to be hazardous. But it is something which you can imagine that this can happen. Okay, so that it can be identified, it can be measured, and it is always going to be something unwanted, something dangerous, something which is very disadvantageous. That is what is going to be hazardous, right? So this is what hazard means, and this is the difference between both of them. So if I take this example, you can see there is a shark swimming inside this ocean, and there is a person standing, a child standing on the seashore, right? So એને ખબર છે કે આ શાર્ક જે છે એ કોઈ પણ સંજોગોમાં જો એ આ શાર્કના કોન્ટેક્ટમાં આવી જશે તો એ મરી જ જશે. Okay, it is hazardous. So it is the one which can definitely cause harm. So it is a potential source of causing harm. It's never going to become friendly. But એ જો સ્વિમિંગ કરે છે તો એ રિસ્ક લે છે, તો there is a probability કે એ એના કોન્ટેક્ટમાં આવશે કે નહીં. ઓકે, ના પણ આવે. He might be a good swimmer, he might be swimming in some area where shark doesn't come. Okay, તો બચી જાય તો એવું બને કે બચી પણ જાય, કંઈ મરી જાય એવું જરૂરી નથી, પણ એને રિસ્ક લીધું. સો રિસ્ક ઇઝ ધ પ્રોબેબિલિટી. ઓકે, અને હેઝાર્ડ ઇઝ ગોઈંગ ટુ બી ધ પોટેન્શિયલ સોર્સ વિચ ઇઝ એકચ્યુઅલી ગોઈંગ ટુ કોઝ યુ ધ હાર્મ. જે ઇન્જરી કરવાનું જ છે એ સોર્સ જે છે એ હેઝાર્ડ છે, right? So we can put it again, the three things in this way. If you put risk, the faith and trust required to suspend uncertainty to take an action. Okay, whereas hazard, an object that is imagined to have the potential for causing harm, and safety is a temporary moment when physical harm is lowered down. So all of us, we are always, it's a human instinct, we always crave to become safe. ઓકે. અને ગર્લ્સ અહીંયા તો ક્લાસમાં બહુ બધી ગર્લ્સ છે, તો ગર્લ્સને તો સિક્સ સેન્સ હોય. એ લોકોને થોડુંક પણ કંઈક એવું લાગે કે અહીંયા કંઈક છે, જસ્ટ બાય નો ધ બોડી લેંગ્વેજ ઓર ધ સરાઉન્ડિંગ, they immediately would like to shift to a safer place. So it's very very natural. Now this is there even with people. જે લોકો એવું ક્લેમ કરતા હોય ને કે મને તો ભાઈ સુસાઇડ કરવામાં વાંધો નથી, એને પણ બીક તો લાગતી જ હોય. It's not that easy to commit suicides, okay? But the thing is we have this natural instinct to remain safe. સો તમને અત્યારે તમે જ્યાં પણ છો, જ્યાંથી બી સાંભળો છો, ત્યાં જો કંઈક બહુ મોટો અવાજ થાય, અ વેરી બિગ બ્લાસ્ટ, તો તમે ક્યાં શાંતિથી બેસી નહીં રહો, તમે એલર્ટ તો થઈ જ જશો. વાય? બિકોઝ વી આર કન્સર્ન્ડ અબાઉટ અવર સેફટી. We can never ignore the safety aspect. Now that is where no safety goes hands in hands with human nature. And that is why you have to understand કે સેફટી બાયોલોજીકલ સાયન્સ સાથે કેવી રીતે રિલેટેડ છે. ઓકે, એટલે તમને આ સબ્જેક્ટ છે because of this particular thing. So how we put safety, you spot a hazard. If I just put it no in terms of the alphabetical aspect, so S can be put as a spot a hazard. You assess the risk capacity of that particular hazard, how risky it is, right? What could be the possible cause of that hazard? Evaluate the situation, try to find out a solution, so you terminate the danger and you are safe. So this is the story of the safety. So those who really want to work for industries, okay, they are going to come across safety mechanisms the maximum. Those who are willing to work in the laboratories, they are again going to work with some of safety. Hindi soft એટલે variety. So that is not what we are meaning here. So don't take me wrong. But this means no safe, the condition of being protected from the harm or undesirable outcome. If I put it in another way, it also refers to control of recognized harms in order to achieve an acceptable level of risk. So acceptable level of risk નો શું meaning થાય કે જે તમે ફેસ કરી શકો છો, જે કન્ડિશનને તમને ખબર છે કે આને હું મેનેજ કરી શકીશ, તો એ લેવલનું રિસ્ક તમારા માટે રિસ્ક રહેતું જ નથી. તો દેટ ઇઝ અચીવેબલ એન્ડ એક્સેપ્ટેબલ. સો જ્યારે તમે એ લેવલ પર લઈ આવો તો you are safe then. Okay, so that is what is safety. No, you put it in different ways and means. Safety and biosafety માં શું difference? So safety means condition of being protected from or unlikely to cause danger, risk or injury. That's safety. But when we talk about biosafety, it means the same concept you are applying. Okay, આ જ concept safety નો એને તમે apply કરો છો with respect to the knowledge, techniques, equipments to prevent personal, laboratory, environmental exposure to biohazards or infectious agents. Okay, so we are talking the concept of safety with respect to the concept of our biological organisms, because they also have potentiality to become hazardous, to create adverse effects, to cause infections, to cause હેલ્થ ઇશ્યુઝ. ઓકે, તો એને એનાથી જે લોકો એની સાથે ડાયરેક્ટલી કામ કરે છે એનું એક્સપોઝર, જે લેબ સ્ટાફ છે એનું એક્સપોઝર, અને લેબ સિવાયનું જે નેચરલ એન્વાયરમેન્ટ છે surrounding the lab city and the ecology. Okay, from ecological point of view, the word environment, all should be protected. So when you talk about the techniques, equipments used for the safety and the knowledge behind this, આ બધું ભેગું કરો છો in against of the microorganisms or the organisms which are fatal, which cause infections, which are risky, which are hazardous, then you are talking about the subject biosafety. Okay, so it is the one which deals with, sorry, which deals with the no safety at the level of your no organisms into your laboratories and saving your environment, your people working with them. So WHO lab safety manual તમને આ મેન્યુઅલ ચાંદની મેડમ કરાવશે. તો એના હિસાબે આની ડેફિનેશન શું છે? ઇટ કન્સિડર્સ biosafety to be containment principles. Okay, so containment principles means what? તમે તમારી લેબનું ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર કેવી રીતે ડિઝાઇન કરશો સો દેટ ઇટ ઇઝ નોન રિસ્કી, રાઈટ? તમે તમારા બાયોલોજિકલ ઓર્ગેનિઝમ્સને કેવી રીતે ટ્રીટ કરશો સો દેટ યુ આર નોટ એક્સપોઝ ટુ ધેમ ફોર ઇન્ફેક્શન. દેટ ઇઝ વોટ ઇઝ કન્ટેનમેન્ટ પ્રિન્સિપલ. ટેકનોલોજીસ તમે કેવી રીતે ડિઝાઇન કરશો, કેવી રીતે ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ કરશો. સો યુ સ્ટડી ધ ગુડ લેબ પ્રેક્ટિસીસ. હાઉ આર યુ ગોઈંગ ટુ protect your organisms in the best way so that least no risk is possible. So when you do all these three things, okay, containment principle, technology and practices, which is going to prevent unintentional exposure to pathogens and the toxins that they are releasing, or accidental release of the pathogens or their toxins. એને સ્ટોપ કરવા માટે તમે containment પ્રિન્સિપલ્સ, ટેકનોલોજી ને પ્રેક્ટિસીસ ને ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ કરો ત્યારે તમે બાયોસેફ્ટીની વાત કરો છો. ઇટ્સ અબાઉટ બાયોસેફ્ટી. ઓકે, સો right, so CDC is going to talk another definition that CDC is giving is that biosafety is the application of safety precautions that reduce a laboratorian risk of exposure to potential infectious material. Okay, and it's going to limit the contamination of your workplace, the work environment, the ecology ecosystem wherein you are working, and also exposure of the no community, which is what you see in case of this coronavirus માટે એક theory જે છે that is this કે વુહાનની BSL-4 lab, they did not follow enough biosafety precautions અને એટલે એ particular virus જે level 4 નું virus હતું ત્યાંથી release થઈ ગયું, and now we all are suffering the pandemic. Okay, so that is, if we consider this particular no story to be real, જો આ સાચી વાત હોય તો in that case no there are all the chances કે એ લોકોએ લેબોરેટરી કન્ટેનમેન્ટ એનું ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર એ જે બાયોલોજિકલ ઓર્ગેનિઝમ સાથે એ લોકો કામ કરતા હતા, રાઈટ, એના પર એ લોકોએ ગુડ લેબ પ્રેક્ટિસીસ પ્રોપરલી ફોલો કરી નહીં. અને તમે તો માઇક્રોબાયોલોજી વાળા સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ જો યુ વર્ક મેક્સિમમ with microorganisms, and there are a lot of microorganisms which can cause infections. So you will be dealing with all these aspects in much more detail. Okay, એટલે તમારે વધારે biosafety જાણવું જરૂરી છે. So what does this CDC mean? CDC શું છે? What is CDC? Definition by CDC. WHO નું full form તો બધાને ખબર છે, પણ CDC નો શું meaning થાય? Most popular એ છે CDC. It's a body. So what it is? Yes, Prijesh. What is CDC?
Center for Disease Control and Prevention.
Yes, very good. So this is the one. If you are ever looking for any diseases and its information, it's one of the most authentic no body. You can look into it, right? So any definition છે તમને ત્યાંથી પણ બાયોસેફ્ટીના ગુડ લેબ પ્રેક્ટિસીસ મળશે. જો તમે એની વેબસાઇટ પર જશો તો there is lot of stuff and material provided over there. So that is another definition of no biosafety. We'll take one more. According to freedictionary.com, a layman point of view, literal meaning જોવો હોય તો શું meaning થાય? So precautions taken to control the cultivation and distribution products. That means genetically modified crops and genetically modified products, right? So because we are more concerned about this also, so it's not only about microorganism, but it's all biological material which can be a potential cause of no potential cause for some risk or health injury or maybe infections in general. તો એ બધું જ તમે બાયોસેફ્ટીમાં કન્સિડર કરો છો. Maintenance of safety conditions in the biological research to prevent, again, why you want to prevent the disease? Because we want to save these stakeholders. કયા stakeholders? workers જે directly એ organisms કે એ crops કે transgenic organisms સાથે કામ કરે છે, જે non lab organism છે, જે regular natural wild organisms છે, they should not come in contact with this kind of organisms, otherwise there will be another entity produced and we don't know how far it would be a good entity. એટલા માટે we don't want them to get directly in contact with the GM no organisms, or it's also known as living modified organisms, LMO, right? And the environment ecosystem માં પણ we are still not able to judge, presume કે natural ecosystems અને ecology કેવી રીતે આપણે બનાવેલા માઇક્રો ઓર્ગેનિઝમ્સ કે ઓર્ગેનિઝમ કે જેનેટિકલી ફૂડ કે ટ્રાન્સજેનિક એનિમલ્સને કેવી રીતે નો એક્સેપ્ટ કરશે, કયા લેવલ પર એક્સેપ્ટ કરશે. It may be risky and it may be causing hazard. So because there is no much clarity with science, so we don't want કે environmentમાં પણ આના relevant કોઈ hazardous effects પ્રિવેલ થાય. એટલે એ કામ બાયોસેફ્ટીનું છે કે વોટ એવર વર્ક ઇઝ બીન ડન ઇન ધ લેબોરેટરી should be done with list risk which is manageable risk, right? So that is the definition. Will not go in the applications today. I'll stop the class for the day. If there is any question, I'll take up the question. કોઈને